Hello. In this section, we are going to study about the other CC attributions. In the earlier video, we have studied about three different CC license attributions, that is CC BY share alike, CC BY SA, CC BY non-derivatives, that is CC BY ND. Now we'll move ahead in this section and we'll try to know about the other CC attributions and the licensings that are used for the open educational resources. This type of attribution is non-commercial, so it goes like CC BY NC. Now in this type, the license lets others remix, tweak and build upon the work of other authors. However, it has to be non-commercially done, and although their new works must acknowledge the original author and be non-commercial in nature, they don't have the license about derivative works on the same terms. See, for example, if you talk about Brooklyn Museum, now the Brooklyn Museum is a major contributor to the Commons on Flickr and licenses of its online image collection, but all this is available only under a CC attribution non-commercial license. You can talk about a singer-songwriter Jonathan Coulton. He is an independent songwriter who started sharing his music for free online under a CC BY non-commercial license. Jonathan wanted to reserve the commercial rights to his works, but thought it is more important to allow all other users so that they can remix it. Another example is Wired.com photography. Wired.com staff produce photos, again, which are released under a CC BY non-commercial license only. Now this particular attribution is purely non-commercial. Let's know another attribution for licensing, that is CC BY NC SA, that is non-commercial share alike. Now this license lets others remix, tweak and build upon original author's work only non-commercially, as long as they credit the original author and they license their new creations under the identical terms. Example of this is, one of the examples is MIT OpenCourseware. Now MIT OpenCourseware has been releasing a lot of online courses, approximately 2000 of them, which is freely available and openly available for anyone to adapt, translate and redistribute. Now all their course content is guarded under CC BY NC SA license since 2004, and their courseware has been translated in at least 10 languages. Another example is Jonathan Worth. Now Jonathan works from London and New York as a freelance commercial photographer. He has been licensing his photography under CC BY NC SA license. Now this is basically a non-commercial, however share alike license. Another example is of Cory. Boing Boing editor Cory Doctorow is a writer, blogger and as well as a science fiction author with a vast amount of work under his name. Now if you look at the type of content that has been safeguarded and protected under this license, is a different kind of a licensing attribution wherein the authors do want people to share their work, maybe even adapt and modify their work. However, all this has to be done only non-commercially, and whatever modified work has been released has to be released under these identical attribution. Let's look at the next licensing attribution, that is CC BY NC ND, that is non-commercial, non-derivative. Now unlike CC BY, which is the most accommodative of all licenses, this license comes across as the most restrictive of the 6 main licenses. Now this allows others only to download the work of other authors and share them with others as long as they are crediting the original authors. But in this case, the work cannot be changed in any way and neither can it be used commercially. So it is definitely a very restrictive license. Examples are like, for example, you can talk about TED Talk videos. Now these are popular TED Talk videos. All these TED Talk videos are licensed under CC by NC ND license, which allows only redistribution. However, unmodified redistribution is only allowed, and that too only for non-commercial purposes. TED does not allow any kind of remixes of its videos until unless a consent is taken or the consent of the speaker is taken. Another example can be of ProPublica. Now, ProPublica is a Pulitzer Prize winning independent non-profit newsroom that produces investigative journalism in the public interest. Now, it encourages users to steal its stories, urging other sites to distribute its stories, but under CC by NC ND license only. Now that we know about all the 6 licensing attributions under the Creative Commons license, let's move towards something else, that is with respect to public domain. Now if you look at the logo, it comes with a C crossed public domain. Now this says that this license helps authors to keep and manage their copyright on the terms that they choose. CC public domain tools, on the other hand, enable authors and copyright owners who want to dedicate their works to the worldwide public domain to do so, and facilitate the labeling and discovery of works that are already free of known copyright restrictions. If you look at the logo, you can see how the C is striped across. Now if you look another, which is a true public domain tool, look at the logo. It's with a 0, CC0. Now this can be used as a universal tool if one is a holder of copyright or database rights, and if one wishes to waive all their interest that is existing in their work worldwide, this tool can be used, because copyright laws differ around the world, and one may use this tool even though one does not want to have any copyright in their jurisdiction, but they want to be sure to eliminate any copyrights that one has in other jurisdictions. So this tool is to be used. Creative Commons also offers through CC0 a way to release material worldwide into the public domain. Now, if you look at these two, these are two different public domain tools. CC0 is a legal tool for waiving as many rights as legally possible, or when not legally possible, CC0 acts as fallback as public domain equivalent license. So one should know the difference between these two different types of public domain tools. Let us look at the simplified grid of 7 regularly used licenses. You can see across the columns the different icons representing the different CC licenses are written, and in the different rows it talks about different categories with respect to what are the description, what is the short form of the license, whether there is an attribution required or not, whether the license allows remix culture, whether it allows commercial use, whether it allows free cultural works, and whether it actually meets the definition, that is the open definition. So if you look at the table, it gives a kind of a fair idea as to how each license has got a different kind of a attribution to be given, and how each has got a different role, and how the new works developed by people can have the licenses depending upon what exactly is their requirement. So Creative Commons attribution license allows one to share and remix, that is create derivative works, even for commercial use, so long as attribution is given. So if you look at the attribution part, in all the 6 licenses, attribution is definitely required, whether it is a non-commercial or even a non-derivative work. In the next slide, we'll look at the adaptations. Thank you.